Lights, camera, action.
In a studio where local filmmakers talk to other filmmakers about the inside world of film.
Cut.
That's not the script. It. We'll fix it in post. Do you wonder how films are produced and what really goes on behind the scenes? Well, stand by. Filmmakers Kevin Mumphrey, Victoria V.A. Jones, and Carson Hype Ferguson explain all the details. Right here on It. We Will Fix It in Post podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whenever you're listening, I thank you for doing so. I'm do it over.
That is the first time ever.
Yeah, I know, right?
What's going on?
Man,
No.
got flustered.
I was good the first time. It's doubling back. Okay,
Yeah.
let's say all right. And 3, 2, 1. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whenever you're listening, I thank you for doing so. I'm once again Kevin Mumphrey, and this is Fuck It. We'll Fix It in Post. I'm here with my colleagues, Victoria V.A. Jones
What's going on?
and Carson Hype Ferguson.
Yeah.
So y'all may have saw when I posted on the IG story about the movie Freakier Friday is going to be released next Friday.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I never pay attention.
Well, that hurts.
Hurts for
I
who?
do. I don't think you do neither. Everybody be looking at the stories, but you two. But
We live it, so you know what I'm saying. We here, you know.
so, but yeah, so Freakier Friday is being released. So when I posted, I was like, wait a minute. I felt like I posted a few days ago about another IP that was coming out next year. I did. I just forgot which one. But so it led me on this, like, let me see what movies that are coming out in 2025. And it's a bit of a, I'll just let y'all hear. So
Kevin went on a journey.
I went on a little bit of a journey. That's a great way to word it. So we got Jurassic World Rebirth, 28 years later.
Okay, I want to see that one. You ain't even got to tell me. It might be bad to other people
The fact that you bust out so quickly and wanted to see
because I
me
knew,
this movie.
listen, it is horror. You know,
That's
it's about the zombies, and I yeah.
cool. You can talk to me about it when it comes out.
Does it? I mean, I understand the same premise. You know, based on the 28 weeks later, 28 days and then 28 weeks.
Yeah,
But it's just like, is anybody attached to that?
yeah. The guy, what's his name? I keep
So
forgetting his name.
the director Danny Boyle,
No, the one that was in the original 28 Days Later. He's a part of this film.
actor or
The
director?
actor.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's like Aaron Tyler Johnson,
No, the main actor. Who's the main?
Cillian Murphy.
The one that was in Peaky Blinders.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Yes, he's in it, and the director Danny Boyle.
It's same director?
You know, I ain't watched not one of these, so I couldn't.
No, I mean you don't have to. I'm just saying,
you
like,
can look up the same director though.
So you know, if it's not the same director, it may be like, you know, just a little bit off. And if you got that kind of time period in between projects,
So you believe, like, when you're kind of doubling back on a franchise, it needs to have the same director?
I mean, like, to give you the same feel.
I don't know. Sometimes when it is the same director and they do a sequel, it's like, dude, you went completely left on this.
Well, you know, some of those cats, man, they just like, oh, I don't feel like doing this again, like the exact same way, or like even close to it. They want to like put their new spin. So like they want to put their creative juices into it. And I'm like, if you depart too far from the franchise, it's gonna look crazy.
I mean, I agree with you, but I'm
And,
saying sometimes
yes,
the same director, it don't work out sometimes.
And yes, he is the director of the original 28 Days Later, which came out in 2002, which I definitely wasn't watching that then.
Oh, I definitely seen it.
I'm sure you have.
I definitely seen it. I definitely seen it.
But it also, because also, like, a director can get, depending on how many of these films you do, you just get tired of it altogether. Like, sometimes even an actor just get tired of playing a role. So you can see, like, a director is going, like, and sometimes it may even show off, you may have heard talks about the Joker that just came out, the new Joker film.
I've heard it was a musical.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Why would you do that?
I don't see. I almost feel like maybe he didn't want to do another one.
I mean, to tell you the truth, the first movie was like one off. Honestly, I didn't think you could make a sequel to actually be of justice to the film, because one, nobody expected, you know, the standalone Joker movie outside of like the Heroverse kind of stuff to be what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's kind of led me to what I'm talking about with this today, because it worked so well. and it may have should have just been a standalone film, but it made money.
That don't mean nothing.
So
That don't mean nothing.
Oh, it does. That's why they made another one.
No, I mean there's plenty of franchises where the first movies made money and the subsequent movies after that have been like just, I mean,
they could be even like they redid, and it's one of my favorite films, The Crow. Turns out it was terrible.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I have. It was pretty bad.
But you like The Crow.
I mean, I don't mind creepy. I just want.
my
I don't
God.
pay like The Crow doesn't. It's not a scary. It's just creepy looking.
And it's also a scary movie. Though.
It's no. It's more of like a comic book film. I mean, it's based off a comic book. It's more of in that realm than scary. I can see how it could come off as scary, but a horror film is you're basically going to see a horror film to get yourself scared.
I'm confused. Like, did you see the new Batman?
You talking about the emo Batman one?
Yeah. You see that one?
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
Very emo. I like the look.
But, I mean,
I like the look of the film more than the film itself.
But going back to the Joker, this is how my mind thinks. Okay, right. Lady Gaga was in it, so in my mind, I'm like, okay, some music gonna be happening. Something gonna be happening in there that's music wise. Now I haven't seen the Joker, but you know, you got Lady Gaga. That's a different story.
Not necessarily, because she's been in a lot of films. She's been in a lot of
TV
films.
shows. I think she's one like
but the movies that she's been a part of, it's about singing. If you remember the other one with what's the dude's name?
I don't know if that's true for all her films, because like
her films.
He is the name, and then like you can just put her on the soundtrack.
All her films. I don't think she's been in that many films.
She might have been in more than what you realize. Like, not as a main character though. You know what I'm saying? Like a supporting character kind of thing.
Character or a supporting character.
I completely get the whole main character thing, but the supporting character, I don't know if that's the case. Because I want to say she's like been like the fourth actor on the Billboard.
Yeah, because I don't like Sin City wasn't necessarily a musical.
Was she a main character?
House of I don't know.
Or she was one of the characters. I'm talking about
the House of Gucci. She didn't sing it all in there, right?
So when you talk about main character or supporting character, I'm talking about the first two people that you're gonna see. I'm not talking about the third or the fourth. They might be on the poster, but that does not mean that they
Sin
are
City,
the
I think it's
character.
It's more. I think Sin City was more like one of those ensemble type movies,
right?
So, and the rest of them's like
I feel like she's like in a lot of those. Like where it's like, oh, we're just gonna throw a bunch of like stars at the screen, and whoever draws you in kind of thing. Right, but she's been in a bunch of stuff, and like I'm not talking about like her being the star. Yeah. I'm talking about her just being in the movie.
That's different from you being a co-star or a star.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's the only thing I'm trying to say. Okay. Like the fact that she's a co-star in it might have been a little different.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen Joker. So, but I've heard that it was a musical and a lot of people don't like it. So, you know what I'm saying?
Like you said, you with Lady Gaga, you expected some singing to be in it.
Yeah. That's
one thing to expect some singing. It's another thing to turn it into a whole musical.
I mean, you're right. Yeah.
Especially and I don't know, because we didn't know that going in. Like it wouldn't. I don't believe it was promoted.
No, that's just like they did with the Color Purple. But at the same time, with the Color Purple,
we knew it was a musical going in.
A lot of people apparently didn't.
It may not have been greatly promoted, but I remember it being brought up as a music. Now maybe just because I look more into this stuff than most people.
Probably more people knew about the Color Purple being a musical than Joker being a musical. I would want to say that, because I didn't realize it was musical until like last week when some people were like doing reviews on it.
Yeah, that's when.
And I was like, a musical? What? Huh? Seriously?
That was my reaction as well. Now, me, I tend to musicals aren't necessarily like for film. Musicals don't usually work for me, but it's just because I tend to pay attention.
Don't hate.
Not necessarily.
Don't hate on the musicals, okay? My favorite movie is Chicago. Don't hate. Don't hate on the musicals.
Now Chicago is the stage play too for
Yeah.
film right. Now, my thing with musicals is not that I think they're bad. It's just always, it's hard for me to pay attention. I usually pay attention more to the singing
Then the movie.
than the movie itself. So
Okay.
it's like, it was great singing. What's the movie about? I had no idea.
Shout out to Orphan Annie.
What?
Orphan Annie. You know Annie, the musical? Annie, Hard Knock Life. Come on, man.
Man, you just threw that out of nowhere.
What are you talking about, man? Shout out to Orphan Annie. Like, there was only like,
Is that your favorite?
when I was a kid, or whatever, there was only like a couple of musicals that I like even paid attention to like that. I really didn't like musicals. I grew into some more of them, but it's not the first like genre I go to.
I don't think most guys go to genres. It's that first. So that's very.
I don't know if it's the third I go to. I'm just saying. There's a lot.
Unique set of circumstances.
Yeah, there's a lot down the list.
I would say, I think as a guy, I can say, like, we don't necessarily go to musical, but again, there's got to be some circumstances. We're not prone against it. It's just.
Oh, okay. I get you. You're not prone against it, but it ain't your good choice. All right.
I'm thinking about it, and yeah, it's probably not even fit. I would probably watch a horror movie before I watch a musical.
Oh, I got you.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
I know exactly how to get you now. It's all good. I'm figuring it out now.
A horror musical.
That singer. I'm surprised no one's tried that yet.
No, somebody has.
Yeah, somebody has.
It's probably got poor execution because it's probably hard.
Would Pennsylvania be kind of that?
No, I don't think so.
There's like musical elements to that, isn't it? I haven't seen it in a long time, so I would.
Elements, but is it a musical though? Musical. Sound Memphis over.
It may be the. Well, Glorilla's out now, so you can check that in.
Yeah, but you could always do like a Bruce Campbell like Evil Dead like musical kind of thing where it ends up being like more a dark comedy kind of thing. I think that would work more often than the other. So you're just singing about like, you know, slaughtering like these zombies. Yeah, that actually sounds kind of entertaining.
Like, that sounds horrifying to me, but it also sounds interesting. Like, I feel like it has to have been done.
It probably has.
Somebody was smoking on their couch. It was like, I got an idea.
I'm trying to tell you, it probably has, but it probably didn't see the light of day.
Maybe not.
They went into that
producers out here scripting.
No, they went into the screen and it was like, "This what y'all spend my money on right here?"
Oh, you read it all the way to the screen.
So I probably did.
That's where I disagree. I think it went straight to the script and they said, "You want me to spend money on what?" How many pages you read? 10. That's all I needed. Will never see the light of day. Ever. But then I say that now and then, but like next year, look what's coming out.
I'm trying to. Did you just see the list you read off?
Actually, no. I take that back. It wouldn't happen because that would be a new idea. And I have not read a new idea on this list yet. And I've got plenty more. And they're just, well, no, it's Michael Jackson. You got Captain America. You got Halloween. That franchise is going to keep going. Peter Pan. I didn't think I'd see another Peter Pan in my lifetime, but apparently they made it.
When was the last time the other one? Wasn't it in like the 90s?
I feel like we were kids.
Hook?
Yes.
Hook, yes.
I think there was another Peter Pan since then.
Now it made it in a cartoon.
Yeah,
I'm talking about live action movie. I'm talking about live action.
I don't know about the live action.
Yeah, I think so. I thought we were done with Peter Pan, but no, we got another.
No, there's never been you've never had another live action besides Hook. I'm pretty sure somebody was trying to do it, get another Peter Pan going.
Why is Peter Pan always the good guy?
I didn't write it.
Wait. I kind of want to. Please elaborate.
I want to say like because in the original Brothers Grimm or whatever, Peter Pan was like not necessarily like a hero. He was actually taking the kids away from being like to like growing up.
Oh, okay. So
like they were not growing up, and Hook was trying to keep them away from being kidnapped.
I give you. So your flying thing has got me thinking kind of like how with Forrest Gump. So apparently in the book, Forrest Gump was kind of an a-hole. But they didn't want him in the movie to be one because they didn't think it would be viable. Like an audience wouldn't gravitate to Forrest. I think that's the same thing with Peter Pan. Sorry, the throat.
You need some water,
I do actually.
Peter Pan.
Oh, hush.
Can't camera on her. No, but seriously though, like the Forrest Gump thing, that would probably make a little bit more sense with Jenny, who's a horrible person in that film.
Absolutely horrible.
She like between her and the Rose character from Titanic, I can't tell which is a less sympathetic woman in cinema history.
For me, it's Jenny, and maybe the only reason because the woman who played Rose, I think, and she kind of jokes about it. And I think she was on a show like, yeah, there was actually room, and so the actress kind of
You have to not just put it on her. I mean, he could have hopped up there with her. He made sure to stay in that water.
She didn't even try to pull him.
No, he didn't want to get on there because it was non-consensual. He couldn't get on the door consensually.
Okay, that was a good one. That was a good one.
You were that joke, wasn't you?
No, I just came up with it. Like, it just popped in my head. You throw 1 million of them out, you gonna hit one.
You hit with that one because I didn't see that one coming. That was bravo. That was great. But yeah, no, I think Jenny is for him.
Yeah,
and I mean with Rose, it was just one part of that movie.
No.
Well,
no.
I mean, she was.
According to him, it was more than one part.
It was more than one part because you got to think. That was like Leonardo DiCaprio's character was the guy that she was like running off with, and then she still had kids after that. But been thinking about this dude like her whole life
because he died.
But she had a husband and kids. I'm like, damn, you think about him every day, but you couldn't have him be on that door with you.
I just said he could have hopped up there with her. That's what I'm saying.
He looks cold and tired.
Chose there.
He didn't have the energy.
No, he was tired of her and all her antics, running all over that boat. He's like, hey, this what life is about to be about? I don't know.
I think I'm good.
He's like, cold water, here I come.
Yeah, you know what?
That is crucial. That is so crucial. That is crucial.
He married to this woman or icy death?
That is horrible.
He's switched off.
You see what I get?
Switched off, man. I'm like, man, it takes some kind of people, don't it? Man.
I mean, once you put it that way,
I need some more women on this podcast. This is ridiculous.
No, but you cannot sit up here and tell me that those are some good women, like in cinema. Like to be like, okay,
good women, but I'm just saying.
I'm not saying there's not. I'm just like, these are two women that are really bad examples as characters in cinema, and you'd be like, like.
Okay, I agree with Jenny. Okay, but there's somebody worse than Rose. Okay, there's somebody worse than it. Yeah. No, you have to put somebody else in that. Somebody else.
That's hard.
You got Jenny, and then there's somebody else. Then maybe Rose might be 2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's somebody else. Name that somebody else.
Oh,
exactly.
You talking about it? You tell me.
I can't think of one. Like I put the 2 names out there. I can't think of one.
Man, I can't. Them 2 are kind of top tier.
Oh my gosh!
Like they're them Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of horrible women films. Like.
On to the next subject. Read some more stuff on your list.
Man, I'm really trying to think of someone else, and I'm in the back of my brain, and there's just nothing there. Yeah, those 2 are the devils of females in filmmaking. But oh Lord, they're saying so. You heard about all the issues with the movie Blade?
Oh yeah. Like that it's a talking head movie versus an action movie.
It's from what I've been hearing, it's barely a movie, but they got on here that it's coming out in 2025. I don't believe that. They don't even have a description for the film on here.
They've had multiple rewrites.
Multiple.
Like didn't they almost lose old boy, the actor?
No.
I want to say he threatened to walk out or whatever because they were on their second director. At that point, they might be on their third now. I want to say was it
Marshall Ali?
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't hear about him threatening to quit. I wouldn't be surprised if that was true. I mean, that's multiple rewrites, multiple directors. and now there's like talk about wanting Wesley Snipes back on there. And he's kind of since he's like the face of this film, so he kind of publicly gets a little bit of heat on it. I don't even want to say heat. It brings attention to him that I wouldn't want if I was an actor, and I'm sure he doesn't want. And
I mean, he was in Wolverine, Deadpool, and then it
was great
to great fanfare. It was cool being in the theater and people were like cheering for him,
and that may have been like the worst. I ain't gonna say the worst, but that didn't help for the Blade film either.
Oh no, because everybody remembers like all the good times with the one before.
Like that old exit just came back.
Man,
like yo, he can still do this. Actually, I don't mind seeing this version of Blade.
I mean, with the multiverse, it worked, but it's like it had all the actors, like they were playing those roles. It even had old boy play Johnny Storm from the horrible Fantastic Four movie.
And the way they brought him out was because I didn't see him coming. I did, so it was actually I was like, oh yeah, he wasn't a bad one.
Yeah,
honestly, I don't. For some reason, I just think it's hard for him to make a good Fantastic Four film.
I mean, it's gonna be tough, man, because like they don't. I don't think they have the reverence for the first family of Marvel, because you got to think that was like one of the staple franchises for like the longest time. Yeah. As opposed to what people think now, as far as like comic book sales, that was like one of the staple franchises.
And I mean, now, if you look at it from a film aspect, the staple now would be, well, I mean, it wasn't like from the comics book aspect, Iron Man was probably very low, but now it's top tier.
Yeah, very, very. Like he was like a throwaway character almost.
Like I don't like. I mean, I was pretty much a comic book guy when I was younger. I don't remember a lot of people even getting Iron Man comic books. I mean, Spider-Man was always a thing.
Yeah, Spider-Man was top tier. Spider-Man, Wolverine, X-Men.
Hulk was probably.
Yeah. Hulk was a lot bigger than Iron Man. I'm trying to think, like, who else? I mean, Captain America with the Avengers, and then maybe Captain America, and then like Iron Man would have been like a 6th or 7th or something like that. I mean, not to say it didn't have its own following. It's just it wasn't as big as like Robert Downey Jr. I am Iron Man in the first film.
Oh yeah, the greatest casting.
Yes,
in Marvel, maybe one of the greatest castings in film.
Man, that's tough
because it was. I mean, it was perfect.
Film ever is tough, but I mean, Marvel, 100%, 100% agree with you.
Oh yeah, because I can't oh my god, it's perfect.
You agree? You agree?
I mean,
I agree with Kevin a whole lot.
Oh, I got you.
I do. I just disagree with you a whole bunch. I mean, hey, I thought we knew this. Like, is this new This is new information.
I didn't think this was new information. Well, it is now. Let's just say it's new.
Be over here struggling, man. Golly.
This is what makes it fun. But I'm basically saying all to say, basically, most of the films you're going to see next year are going to be, well, basically IPs, stuff that we saw growing up. And it worked well for the 90s. Let's just do it again. A lot of copy and paste.
I mean, that's what you see now. So, I mean, on a lot of stuff.
And something you're probably going to see a lot more of, and may have talked about this before now, but biopics. It's outside of Marvel and 90s cartoons and film. Biopics seem to work well. One that is doing really well now.
Hernandez.
I am terrified to watch that one.
Why?
Because here's the thing. Here's what. Every time someone describes it to me, first thing is, it's great. It's it's a 10-part series, right? And then they'll describe something in it where I'm like, I'm not fit to watch that.
I mean,
like it is something gross comes up, and I'm just like, I'm not fit to watch that.
Who are you getting your information?
Multiple people. I talked to like 6 people about it because I'm tempted. I've been tempted.
Why would you not watch it though? You already know the story. You already know. Everybody already knows the story. So watching it,
I think I would rather watch a documentary.
I mean, they have the documentary out now too.
I may just watch the documentary. I would rather hear people just sit down in a room where they're really lit and mic'd and have them talk about it.
I mean, you can watch that too, but I'm saying it's a very good series. It is.
So name me a scene that you liked from that from that series. So, if you
Name
watched
a
it,
scene that I liked.
or some,
Your parents. I mean,
just from a director standpoint, just like, oh, that was very well shot.
no, because people gonna think I'm crazy.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying specifically what I like the most about this series. I'm not saying it because you're not gonna make people think that I'm that crazy, okay?
That's my point.
Hey, look how she changed it up too. She said that crazy, but the first time she said crazy, I was like, they already think I'm crazy. So like, so there's no point with that.
I mean, anybody, you gotta admit, directors or people who write scripts or filmmakers, they ain't all the way there up there. Okay,
There's that, and then there's the weird stuff in this bio.
It's good though.
That's the thing.
It's good.
I
It's
have not heard one person say it was bad.
The way it was shot, the way they told the story, and everything, it's very good.
And that's the part that gets me tempted. And then I go, well, it was this part when they did this, and I'm like, oh,
why do you even listen to that? Why do you listen to that? Why don't you just go into something looking at it without talking to other people? If you want to watch it, though, that's what I'm saying. If it's interesting to watch it,
if I want to watch something well enough, I would already watch it. I wouldn't really worry about opinions of it. With biopics, I've heard this story so much. I've seen many documentaries of it.
Yeah.
So the part of me is like, I know the story. What more can you do to make this a story that I've known?
If you only knew.
Exactly.
If you only knew.
I've heard.
I'm trying to tell you.
And I'm like,
the way that
I would feel like they put effort, like
the way Ryan Murphy put this together, it was just amazing.
We didn't even need some of this information that was in there. Like,
it was in there. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, I will say this: how they did the courtroom scenes. If you go back and you look at the original courtroom scenes and how they put it together, it's about parallel right with each other. Right?
I'm always like how they walk in.
Yes,
sit.
You can. There's scenes in there where you're looking at it. You can go back to when they were in the courtroom, and it's on point right there, on point. And that's the thing that I do like about biopics. Like when you get something right, when the director goes in and they can put it point to point, everything the way it was in that moment, that's something that's impressive to me, really. If you looked at the James Brown biopic, when he was the scene where he was up there doing Martin Luther King got shot and he did that concert anyways.
Yeah.
If you go back and you look at the original footage of that and you go back and you look at that scene play for play, and that's awesome to me. So when you get it right like that, it's cool to me. So yeah,
that's a very direct answer. And I mean, it's a great answer too. Cause I tend to. I saw like a reel that showed one of that scene, and it was another one where it wasn't in this film. It was by Jackie Kennedy.
Yeah,
and it's one scene where the actress she's talking about, like, Jackie Kennedy is talking. She's being interviewed, and she's in a room showing stuff in the White House.
Yeah.
And how she walks, how she talks is pretty on point. Like, it's almost exactly alike.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a lot of effort and work, but I appreciate that. But I also think with biopics, there's only so many interesting people that we could do a biopic about.
It's a lot of interesting people, though.
Like James Brown, very interesting person. Michael Jackson, very interesting life. The Menendez brothers, interesting. Just I don't know. I'm gonna watch the biopic. I'm still like,
you should watch it though. I'm telling you.
Just everybody says that. Like, you should watch it. It's great. It is very well done. And then they'll name a part of that movie, and I'm just like, ew.
Kind of like when we were on a podcast and we were talking to somebody about that one film, Everything Everywhere All at Once, with the Asian actress. And then we're like, yeah, the hot dog finger thing is kind of weird.
Oh yeah.
It's like people like hot dog fingers.
Yeah,
it's a great film, but the hot dog fingers is weird.
It won an Oscar.
And the way I hear people talk about the Menendez, they'll probably win an award as well.
They might win an Emmy. I'm just saying.
Even though I think one of the Menendez brothers was like, nah, brother, we wouldn't feeling this.
I will say it is it's a lot that the public didn't know. If all that stuff in there was real,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's a lot the public did not know.
Because there's a lot the public didn't need to know. Like, I just, man, they could have, this could have went to their graves. You know. So, but yeah. Yeah, I am so like I was so conflicted by that biopic because there's a part of me that wants to see it because I hear how well it's done, and then it's like there's going to be a part of it, I'm just like I'll just find something else to do. I'll just
But and I think I know where you're going with that. But it's not how these people are describing it to you. It's not that bad. When I say it's not that bad, it's not of what you thinking in your head.
Yeah, but if you're trying to co-sign something, you should never start with "it's not that bad." You really shouldn't. And honestly, for a lot of things, like stuff that's like on the bubble, but not like kind of in the middle, it's just like, do I really want to watch this?
Okay, but
now you're looking you're looking for ways that to exclude certain medias.
I know what he's thinking in his head. Okay, I know what he's thinking
because she probably saw it and went, ugh, what the
I know what he's thinking.
There's probably there was just more information than needed to be shown on there. But there's also like there with the biopics, there's a issue of being correct and truthful, and then there's also taking film artistic liberties.
Yeah, I can see that.
So how much artistic liberty did you say you've seen in the Menendez biopic?
It was a little. It wasn't, in my opinion, overboard. Right? It was not. Okay, it was a little bit of it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, it sounded overboard. But
I ain't gonna lie, it was a little bit of it. So I have to ask: were these people that you asked, were they? Because our minds think a little different.
Are you saying are these people who like?
Were they just
film people?
Yeah.
Nah.
See, that's where you kind of mess up. I'm just saying.
Because here's the, I'm gonna probably see that because I'm still a guy at the end of the day,
Right?
So I'm probably like, did we need this in here?
But I'm saying it's probably not as bad as what they described to you. Is what I'm saying.
Because what I heard was pretty bad. And the thing that they'll talk, man, it was so good though. It's a little weird, but it's really good. I'm like, that's not a great sell for me. Yes, like I knew the situation was weird just from documentaries and growing up hearing about it. Now, only thing that I've heard, like I was kind of young.
You probably don't want to watch this the Netflix documentary then, because they interview the guys and
then they saw it and was like, what? Because I didn't, and when I was young, I wasn't paying attention.
Nobody was when they were younger.
It was just a name I heard. Like I didn't realize because I just assumed they automatically thought they were suspects. They weren't suspects for a while.
Yeah, it was a minute.
And the fact that they went out and spent money and living it up when they supposed to be mourning their parents' death is insane to me.
I just think it,
even though like
that song, I think it was a Milli Vanilli song at the beginning. I just probably can never listen to that song ever again in my life because just of the way that they put it in there.
So is this a technical thing or is this just kind of?
It was kind of, if I'm not mistaken, now I might have been wrong, but I think it was a Milli Vanilli song that they had some song play at their funeral, and the one of the boys wanted the song to play at the funeral. And this is in the series, and like everybody in the funeral was kind of like, what? Why would he play this song?
Okay,
it's a celebration.
No. So let me would it
might have been Milli Vanilli? I can't remember though. Don't quote me on that though.
Would it kind of make sense for that time period?
Yeah, but it was kind of like a song about a breakup.
And that whole situation's weird. That's the first thing someone has told me about the film that made me go, I kind of want to see it now. I'm still on the fence. I'm still like kind of 50-50 on it.
He's looking for a reason not to watch it.
I know he is.
No. I'm looking for a reason to watch it. I keep hearing reasons not to watch it.
Okay, then why are you going straight to the negatives? Why won't you go straight to the positives then?
Because the negatives are pretty weird.
But I'm telling you, there's more positives than negatives. Yeah, you're gonna have some negatives in there. Like the negatives, they were negatives. but
negatives were negatives. That's what I'm talking about. That's like almost clairvoyant.
The thing is, it said so much and nothing at the same time.
But I'm saying,
even in your eyes, you went back to a scene was like, I don't know if I would have shot that. Like,
yeah, she went politician on us. She really did.
I'm just saying. It's just
Senator Jones.
You know. Oh no.
She's smacking people in the campaign.
Everybody be fired then. Yeah, I had to fire everybody in there.
But again, with being so, I ended up with this since we're talking about biopics. What is like just thinking of a celebrity or even a public figure whose life you think would make a good biopic?
A good biopic. Mine.
Okay, so besides you, a person you may have admired growing up that you think would make a good biopic.
Oh, I'm still waiting on the Missy Elliott one. That's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah, I can see that. Cause it's probably her life's probably a lot more interesting than she's let on. Even though because she seems like she's a very private person.
Yeah. I want to know how she come up with them lyrics and them beats and stuff. Like I want to know that. Like
somehow, some way, she be coming up with funky hot like every single day.
Now that we're on to you,
he ha 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 he ha.
You
I know I messed that up, but go ahead.
Horrible. Like who's somebody you think will make a good biopic?
Who would make a good biopic? Oh, you know what? The late Jim Trafficant. He was a senator from Ohio. I remember some dude, like, there was like 3 dudes on the news, found footage, right? News footage. And it was like 7 o'clock news, mainstream news. And he's like, yeah, like he went to jail. And dude's like, yeah, Jim's dirty, but he's our guy. And like 3 people said this on the news. And he used to always get up in front, like there's YouTube videos, crazy. Dude's like, beat me up, Scotty, I don't want to be here no more. He'd be like in Congress saying that, like, over some of the stupid spending bills or something like that. And just be like some crazy stuff. And he was just so over the top. With some of his, like, I guess, like, movements and all that stuff, he kind of remind me of, like, old boy from the dude who played Kramer in Seinfeld. Like, I mean, just he had these weird, like, extra movements, and he had crazy looking hair. It was like just like a little piece that bounced like way too much. And I was like, man, this dude is a cartoon character.
Was it a piece fake hair?
I don't think so. I think it was real, but it just like had too much like volume for that little bit and too much bounce. And it just over the years it got thinner and thinner. And they used to have more, like after he got out of prison, like they had him on like quite a bit, like on some of the news channels, like just giving his opinion. And apparently he gave the wrong opinion about the wrong topic, and then they never had him back. I don't know what it is. It's like yeah. It's like it's like about his appearances. It's pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, she could bring up a good book. Now you said that, I was thinking politicians make great biopics. Like they've actually, I believe they've made one on Trump, and that man's life is a movie at this point.
That should have been before he was a president, though. In my opinion, he should have had one. Before he ran for president, he should have had one. To be honest with you, just along with the person that he is. You know what I'm saying?
The type of person he is, yeah, it would feel like he would be somebody who's had about. I don't think he's had one.
Oh, speaking of that.
You know, if I did one, I would name it Orange Man Bad.
Orange what?
Orange Man Bad. Man, I have like these weird like camera angles.
That sounds like a western.
Man, no, Orange Man Bad.
McMahon need one since that documentary done came out.
Man, Surviving McMahon.
No, I'm talking about. Have you seen the documentary?
No.
You should.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It really is. And the thing is, they interview Vince McMahon. They interview
before the charges.
Before the charges.
Oh, like that meme where he's like,
no. Before the
he's about to start crying.
Before the charges, before everything, they started this series of the because they were going to put it out because of, Raw is about to be on Netflix, so they did the documentary because of that, because they made that deal.
And I'm not even sure if it was originally supposed to be a McMahon centered.
It was. Yes.
Okay, because I thought it was more of a
no,
like a WWE introduction.
No, they talked about because how they started it and how they talked about him and only him and how they did it. It was supposed to be about him, but it is a good documentary.
And it's definitely given a little bit. Well, if you're like really big into wrestling, really know about Vince, you kind of know, I would say maybe 80, 90% of the stuff that was presented. There may be a few things that maybe it wasn't much that just maybe more clarity than what you already knew.
So
but yeah, Vince would be a crazy biopic.
What would you say you ought to know? And that it was a reminder of the best.
Why does he do it? Why does he do this? Why does he do this? Why? And the thing is, I don't know if Kevin knows, but I know everything he's saying. I know these songs completely.
I knew that one. Shoot or shoot, right?
Oh man,
you hit something. You just you hit one that.
So Kevin, what would be yours?
I was going to. Oh, damn, there any politician? Obama would be a good one.
There's already been something out about Obama. There's more than
documentary, but I don't know. Was it a biopic?
Yeah, more than one.
I'm pretty sure that like JFK had probably had. He just if not, they'll double back.
It's more about the assassination than it is him, because he was an interesting character. He made a lot of enemies.
He made a lot of enemies. Theodore Roosevelt.
I mean, that'd be
a good one.
I think there's been a couple of them. Like
I think it has.
I remember watching King's Speech, and I thought that was a good movie.
Yeah,
it talked about old boys like Steimer or whatever, Stutter, and like the whole thing wasn't centered around him, the person, but him getting over the stutter and the King's Speech, and like leading up.
What about Nixon? Have they done one on him?
I think they have.
I think there's a biofilm about him. I mean, he's in. There's a lot of films that he's portrayed in. I feel like there was maybe one or two.
Yeah, but it's always like one sided. It's always like it's weird, like how people remember him.
Yeah,
and it's really the Watergate scandal, or whatever. Was it Watergate or Whitewater? I can't remember.
Watergate. But I'm saying there's never been a biopic about him though.
Just him.
Just a scandal.
I don't think so. So it's like history remembers like the scandal, and they paint that negative. But he was a very popular president.
Also, he's kind of with the debate between him and Kennedy, because it was like the very first televised debate. So the saying is, you had the debate. The people who listened to the debate thought Nixon won. The people who saw the debate thought JFK won. And so usually the saying is, after the debate, the person who usually looks good on a debate usually wins. So he's normally that's one thing he's kind of remembered for too. Also, I think that was a film. It was based on him. I wouldn't say necessarily a biopic on him, but it was more of him and this person he was interviewing. A person that was interviewing him. I just can't remember the name of it. But just a biopic on him himself, I can't think. Like I'm just going over like politicians and past presidents. Presidents, I think, make great biopics.
Oh, you know who else would be Cassell, Howard Cassell, the sports interviewer. He had a really interesting back and forth with Ali for all those years.
He had a
Yeah.
great
I think he would a biopic on him. I think that would like, because it's like, they were very friendly behind the scenes, but then sometimes like, I guess like playing it up or whatever, they acted like they had animosity toward each other, but they're always very friendly to each other.
Yeah.
I could see more of a biopic between those two than him.
No, I'm saying him personally though. Because I think he lived a very interesting life, and he was there for a transition between like sports, like all this money infusion in sports.
Yeah, I personally would like to see it. I just don't know if a general audience would like to see it.
I think they would though. Because if you look back on history and look at those,
and maybe an aspect because like you're seeing a interviewer or broadcaster at a time where celebrities and broadcasters kind of had a better interaction than how it is now.
Yeah.
Where it's very, very contentious.
Yeah.
So maybe from that aspect it may work. Or God, what's the
I think it's always had like a level of contention, but I think the profession itself, it forced like at least the broadcaster or news anchor, reporter, whatever you want to call them, it forced them to like follow a certain thing. I think with the whole social media thing and the click, like performing for clicks kind of thing, I think that's like kind of forced a lot of people's hands to be like a little bit more unprofessional, try to provoke, to try to get a reaction. Kind of like Jim Rome.
Yeah. I would also add that the 24-hour news cycle may have added to that because everybody sometimes some people would rather be first than right.
Yeah. That too.
And they say a lie travels around the world before the truth wakes up. So I can see that as well. God, I'm just thinking, was one more person that was had in my head. Jim Rome would actually probably be a good Bible.
I don't know, because like
it says so much.
It's too much a-hole. You know what I'm saying? Like to where it's like
working film.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like a biopic on somebody you're not really feeling like that, and then most people will like hate listen to him or hate watch him. And you only have a short shelf life anyway, and he's not red hot like that. So it'd be like a niche kind of audience kind of deal. But it's just like I don't think it will move the needle really.
So do you think there were a time where it would have been viable?
Yeah. 15 years ago when he was still having all those when he was still at the top.
Yeah, you're probably right. But on that note, we're gonna get out of here, and you can watch.
Your mic's squeaking, ain't it?
Yeah, that means it's time to go.
Oh,
so so you can go out in the theaters and watch all the movies that we watched.
Watch the horror films, though. Watch them films. Watch the horror. Can't get my R's right. It's all right. It's a Memphis.
That Memphis came out there.
I'm trying. So I be hiding it though. Don't.
They ain't gotta hide it now. They love it now. They love it. They love that Memphis accent. I am once again your host, Kevin Mumphrey, with my colleagues Victoria V.A. Jones.
What's going on?
And Karsten Hyde Fargson.
Sure.
Oh, you just messing up all around. Ain't in the episode. Let's go.